Welcome back, lads. It's Mr. Delpha here with another episode of the Star Power Hour. Today, we're going to slam into learning about onomatopoeia. We're going to be creating an onomatopoeia art project, and we're also going to discover the diversity of onomatopoeia around the world and what diversity means to us. So, let's continue. And without further ado, let me know that you're ready. Let's get started.
And now it's time to learn about onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is the naming of a thing or action by a vocal imitation of the sound associated with it, like a dog saying roof, or superheroes in a battle. Onomatopoeias are happening all around us, every day, like the sounds of our keyboards as we type, or the revving of cars on the street outside. Can you discover some onomatopoeias happening right now? Snap your fingers, jiggle some keys, or zip a sweater up. That is onomatopoeia. Now let's talk about diversity and how it relates to onomatopoeia. Diversity means differences. People may be different in many ways, including race or ethnicity, age, disabilities, language, culture, appearance, or religion. These differences are what make us unique and beautiful. Embracing diversity is understanding and accepting that our way of life is not the only way. We live the same lives through different lenses. Understanding also comes from learning how to see through all the lenses, like walking a mile in someone else's shoes. Diversity and onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is relevant all around the world. It is used by millions of people daily to imitate or suggest the source of a sound. But there is not a set list, and the words we use tend to vary across different nationalities and cultures. Each country therefore has its own collection of onomatopoeic expressions. The sound of something is generally the same wherever you are in the world. The sound of eating while in Germany or in Japan, for instance, makes the same noise, yet the sounds used to describe it can be very different in different countries. The picture on the left is an example of this diversity of onomatopoeia. Now it's time to get creative and make our very own onomatopoeia work of art. Let us continue.
The items you'll need for the onomatopoeia art project is paper, and you'll need 3 pieces, whether it's construction paper, magazines, newspapers, or just blank paper. You'll just need 3 different kinds. Next, you'll need a pencil or pen, and then something to color with, whether it's colored pencils, crayons, or markers. And the last 2 items you'll need are scissors and either tape or glue. Before we get started, we have to choose our onomatopoeia word. Here is a list of words you can choose from and be inspired by. I am going to choose the word Zoom. The first step after choosing our word is to get our piece of paper ready to draw our letters on. Now you can either do what I am doing, which is folding my piece of paper so it creates boxes, so that way I can write my word with evenly spaced and sized letters. This is just something that I chose to do to help make my letters the same size and spaced apart. If you don't want to do this step, and you just want to write out your word on the piece of paper, just make sure you're making your letters kind of big and kind of spaced apart. Because when you go to cut it out, it'll be much easier if they are larger letters and evenly spaced apart. Now while you're writing your word, if you choose to use pencil, that's okay. Using pencil is like making a rough draft. You can go quickly, and then afterwards you can use pen to trace over your lines. To make bubble letters or block letters, which is what we're going to have to be doing, I found it to be easier if you make the letter and then come in again and add more lines to make the lines thicker, as you can see in my drawing. Once we have written out our word, we have to cut them out. This step you can do on your own, carefully, or ask an adult to help you. When cutting out the inside parts, it helps to fold the paper in the middle of the portion you are cutting out, like this. Once our letters are cut out, we can move on to the second piece of paper. I'm choosing to use an old comic book page. This is what we're going to use to make a cutout that goes behind the words. This shape can be whatever you choose. It just has to be big enough for most of your word to fit over it. It can hang off though. As you'll see, my letters are going to hang off. Draw the shape on your paper of choice with a marker or something that will be still visible. Then cut it out. Now that we have our word and backdrop cut out, we need to choose one more piece of paper that both parts will go on. Again, you can choose any piece as long as everything will fit, with enough space around it. Once everything is ready, we can use tape or glue to put it all together. This step involves laying the backdrop down first, anywhere you'd like. Then, placing the letters down to spell out your word. You can arrange the letters onto the backdrop however you want, as long as you spell out the word. You can see that I'm tilting my letters just a little bit to look like it's zooming or going fast or it's in motion. I'm also hanging my letters off of the backdrop just a little bit. If you use glue, let it dry before moving it. And if you use tape, well, you're all set. Now this step, you can feel free to use any kind of coloring utensils that you'd like. You can color the background, you can color the letters and add more detail to it. This is up to you. I'm using colored pencils just to add a little bit of lines in the background, just to spice things up a bit. But this step is entirely up to you, and we are done. We have created onomatopoeia art. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Show your parents, show your siblings, show anyone you like. You are an artist. Oh, hey, it's good to see you again. I hope you enjoyed learning about onomatopoeia and diversity, as well as creating a piece of art. If you did create a piece of art and you want to show it off, please post it in the comments section below. Also, stay tuned after this to see a few onomatopoeia art pieces created by some of my students before we left school. And until next time, have a great day.